cervical incompetence and a trans abdominal cerclage. So if you're interested in either of those, stay tuned. Hello, my name is Micheline, and I wanted to do this video talking about trans abdominal cerclages, which is a treatment for people who sometimes suffer from cervical incompetence. I personally am too old to have kids, but my daughter suffered two preterm births because of cervical incompetence, and we are about to head into the process of her getting the cerclage done. So I just wanted to kind of vlog about it. I'm doing so because when we looked for resources, when we looked for information, there was not a lot out there. And so there were a few people, one young lady who went through, I think, 2 miscarriages, and she then had this done. I know that she lost one baby, and then I don't know what happened with her second one, why they didn't try it, but I live in the middle Georgia area near Macon, and we went to a hospital in this area. Gosh, I can't even think of the name of the hospital right now, but the doctor that we had was named Felicia Love Kitchens. And if you are in this area, unless you are completely, don't go to her. We didn't know anything about physicians or medical care in the area. We moved this way from Augusta, Georgia, so we didn't have a lot of information. She came referred to us from the hospital in Fort Valley, Georgia, and so we went to her because that's the only referral that we had. She was very out of touch, unavailable as a doctor. I had told my daughter had told her, and every time we went to her office, we spoke about the fact that she had already had a preterm loss, and she basically ignored it. She did not pay any attention. Now, this particular time, my daughter was high risk because she was carrying twins and already had had a loss. And even with that, she still did not pay us any attention. She never sent my daughter to consult with a maternal fetal medicine doctor. And I remember walking in there one time. She didn't even know my daughter was carrying twins. Like, she was very out of touch. She was not a good doctor. To me, her goal and her purpose was numbers, moving as many patients through as possible, more so than quality of care. My daughter never received an ultrasound. She never saw a high-risk doctor, and she began to lose this pregnancy at 17 or 18 weeks. I believe it was at the end of 17 weeks. So we were well into the pregnancy, almost, to the middle, to where we were a whole bunch of days away from viability. But, it just was not good care. It just wasn't. I mean, we actually have been looking for some attorneys to kind of consult with about this because it was so negligent. It just really was. Just because she had had a loss, she was already high risk. And then the fact that she was carrying multiples, just nothing. So I kept asking her, she's already lost one, we're high risk. Are you going to do anything? And she didn't. And then when we got to the point of, as a matter of fact, I'm going to take it very in depth. She told us that when it comes to carrying multiples, even if it's a situation to where she potentially starts to lose a baby, there is no recourse. Because once she did start, because her membrane on one of the sacs ruptured, we ended up in the hospital. It took about a day and a half before we even seen the doctor. But even once we saw her, she just basically gave us nothing. We was really on our own with a wing and a prayer and a little magnesium. That was about it. So it was just a horrible experience. It was bad enough, the situation that happened. After which, once we actually ended up, she lost the pregnancies, because I don't want to take from her. I'm not the one who actually went through it. But after everything occurred, and we spoke with another doctor, just looking for something that could help her. His whole thing was, wait a minute, she had already lost one pregnancy. Why did she not treat her as a suspicion of incompetent cervix? And, every other physician that we spoke with in Augusta said the same thing. Also, there's 3 MFM doctors in the Macon area. Why didn't she send her to see one, at least for a consult? When my daughter began to lose the pregnancy, she actually they have at gosh, is it Columbia Hospital? I can't remember the name of the hospital, and I don't want to quote it wrong. But whatever the name of the hospital was up there, she said we saw MFM by video. The doctors were actually in Tennessee, and they have it to where an ultrasonographer comes in and takes very detailed pictures, and then they send it up to Tennessee for consult with doctors up there. And this is a program that they offer for people at that hospital. It's not Navicent. Navicent is the other hospital, but there's another hospital in the city. So that's what we were seeing. But to bring it on in, I'm just going to do a series of videos about our process as we go through this, what we're going to do. We ended up going back to Augusta we got a consult to the high-risk maternal fetal medicine clinic there in Augusta at Augusta Hospital, Augusta Medical Center. Gosh, MCG is what I know it as, but it's called something else now. We saw Dr. Paul Brown. He is one of the board-certified maternal fetal medicine doctors that at the time was there. He is now in Lexington, South Carolina, at the Lexington Women's Health, I believe it is. And we will be having a TAC trans abdominal cerclage. She will be having that put in. Him and Dr. Addie will be performing the surgery. So next week we go for the pre-op, and then a few days after Christmas, they'll be doing the procedure. They chose this time to do it because she is still in college, and so this is a time that will give her some days off from school and moving around to heal. So I just wanted to kind of go through this. I'll be telling what's going on, telling my feelings. If they're interested, I would even be documenting as well. They offer the bionic arm surgery there. So they're very advanced in what they do. And like I said, we had such a hard time finding someone. So we want to document this to help other women going through this process. I do fully believe that if we were in the Augusta area and this happened, we would have babies now. But because we were down here, because we received the care that we received, unfortunately, that's where we are. So I'm hoping that this information will be helpful to someone and that nobody has to go through what we went through. If you can't, do better, you just try to help somebody else do better. So that's the goal of this. So thank you, and I will see you next time. I will, like I said, check in from time to time because I want everyone to know what happens, how things go, and I just want to put this information out there, document it so that, like I said, it can hopefully help other mothers. Thank you.